The other thing too is board members. You have a responsibility under the Act to act honestly and in good faith with the view of the best interests of the corporation. And you obviously have to exercise care and diligence and skill that a reasonable board member would exercise in that regard. And so you are required to act in good faith. And as a board member, if you are acting in good faith, meaning making decisions that are in the best interest of the corporation, not the board, not an individual, but the corporation, and you're acting on advice and direction of your property manager or a professional, like a lawyer, engineer, or accountant, you will be protected by the court system. And more importantly, your insurer will cover any claim that may be advanced against you personally as a board member. But if you as a board member are not acting in good faith, if you are not following the direction of your property manager in terms of what you can or cannot do, or not following the advice of your lawyer, and you do something just to stick it to someone, there is a legitimate argument that you could be acting in bad faith. And if you are acting in bad faith, what that means can come back to hurt you personally. So if someone sues the board members individually, which you're permitted to do in Alberta, and that particular owner is alleging bad faith on the part of the board, and they establish bad faith, the Condominium Corporation's insurance company will not cover any director's liability that may be exposed there. You are on the hook personally. So that means if I get a judgment against a board member and I've established bad faith, and I get a judgment of $10,000 against that owner, and the director's liability insurance doesn't cover you because I've established bad faith, I can come after you personally for that $10,000. That means I can garnish your bank account, I can garnish your wages at work, I can seize some personal property and sell it to pay for that. So again, so critical for board members to ensure that when they are making decisions, they are being made in good faith and they have the proper backup, whether it's your property manager, your lawyer, accountant, engineer, to ensure that you are acting in a manner that is consistent with the law. And that's so critical. In this example that I gave you where the board was completely oblivious to what it was doing, there's a difference between being stupid and acting in bad faith. My example, the board was just dumb. I don't think they were acting in bad. I didn't have evidence of bad faith. That's why I never named them. They were just dumb and not being proactive in terms of recognizing their responsibility as board members. There's a difference between being dumb and not prepared and being in bad faith. Bad faith requires an element of a positive step on your part. So for all of you here tonight on boards, be aware of that. And let me make one final comment as well, and maybe it'll open the door to some other questions. If not, I'll end it here. Remember one thing too, in addition to condo living, and that is your home, and people live there, I get that. But there's also a business side to condominium living. And the board is the representative of the corporation and provides that business direction to your property manager and others on business related issues. So cash flow, financial statements, retaining the services of professionals when you need them. Those are all legitimate business decisions that need to be made from time to time by the condominium board. So don't ever be embarrassed or afraid to engage the people that can assist you, and never be afraid or embarrassed to respond to an owner and saying that we are doing what we think is in the best interest of the corporation and ensuring that we are protected and complying with the law, because that is just the reality of condo living. It's not only the business, not only the living side, the residential quiet enjoyment side, but there's a business side to it. and don't lose sight of that as well. You're in good hands with Magnum York. I've had the pleasure of having many of my clients whose property manager is Magnum York, and I've always had a very good working relationship with the corporation and the property manager. And what I really appreciate too is that when I deal with a property manager and they understand their role, I understand my role, and the board understands their role, that becomes super helpful in ensuring that issues can be dealt with timely and effectively. So on that note, thank you so much. Did that